Hello and welcome back to the Data Privacy Lawyer. My name is Funmi Owolabi and I'm the principal attorney at the firm. Today's review is going to be on some AI terms. So I'm just going to hover over the product they provide. The name of the business is NetExam. The product here is powering the world's most advanced partner and customer education programs. So I'm presuming there's a component of this that's being used in education facilities. One of the questions that I always ask clients to provide me is give me insight into the products and tools that you offer. They have some type of AI agent. There's a content creator. I'm not sure what impact analyzer would be, but each of these features or products, I would be asking a lot of questions related to how these interact with personal data. I'm presuming that the students are able to conduct mobile learning. Now, they need to identify what age group the students are in. In the United States, there are specific privacy laws that address students first and foremost, but then also minors, right? If the students that are utilizing this tool are minors, there are privacy implications for this organization. Now, those privacy obligations might not be addressed in the terms and conditions. They might be addressed in the privacy policy. But all of these documents work hand in hand because there are implications on the use of personal data, because we can see here that they've referenced users. A user is going to have personal data. I am a user of a Microsoft product, right? In order for me to log into my Microsoft tool or Microsoft suite, I have to provide Microsoft my name and my email address at a minimum. Same with any other platform or tool. And I'm a user of those tools. So there's going to be a privacy aspect in the review of these terms and conditions. And in addition to that, the AI service usage. In order for me to understand the privacy implications for the AI service, I need to be able to have clients fill out my extensive intake form that gives me details on how these interact with personal data. You can see here as a customer, let's say, for example, you're doing due diligence. I'm actually going to click on one just for demonstration purposes. Let's click on this, right? AI content creator. They've given you these insights, but none of these insights speak specifically to personal data. But there is a background insight that the company is going to provide to their lawyers on how this works with personal data. You as a customer can't see that. You can only see what they provide you, which is these terms and conditions for AI service usage. In the drafting of this, organizations should be able to ask their counsel, how does this sentence implicate the product that we have to offer? When you're doing a due diligence as a customer, the insight that you have on the public-facing website doesn't give you all the insights that you need to know as to whether a service provider is going to align with your own privacy program. Let's say, for example, your company A. You have the best privacy program available. You already know all the data protection laws that apply to your organization. You already conduct due diligence. You've done your record of processing activity, etc., etc. But you need a service. The service is, I need a mobile learning for my students, right? How is me interacting or working with this service provider going to impact my own privacy program? If the service provider, for example, doesn't have a good privacy program like you put your business in jeopardy, because if you experience something like a breach, or there is a violation of the data, or something happens that impacts your business, they're not to blame in some respects, depending on what the contractual obligations state. But you still have responsibilities irrespective of what happens with your service provider. So you really need to take a look at these terms in addition to their privacy policy. And the privacy policy gives you some insight into their practices, not all. They're not going to distribute that externally. A lot of that they're going to keep internally. During the due diligence process, you can request that they distribute and provide you those insights. But generally, these privacy policies that you see on the websites, they only cover processing done by the website. And I'll give you a great example. And even though this was meant to be an AI review, I think it's valuable for businesses to see what exactly does a privacy lawyer do. Because what we do, it's not obvious. It's not like, going to court or anything like that. But let me give you an example. This is the website for netexams.com. Look at this button here, email. This email section identifies you as an individual. So you need to be aware of the fact that this privacy policy should discuss whether or not personal data is being collected. An email address is personal data. So the privacy policy on a website addresses processing by the website, like cookies, like this email address, like this contact us form. The contact us form is personal data that's being processed by the site. So your email address is being inputted. Look at this: first name, last name, phone number, work email, company name. and then your message. These are all identifiers that are being processed by the site, and these are all addressed in the privacy policy. What's not generally displayed on the website is any employee processing by this business. They don't describe that in their privacy practices. They generally will only discuss what's happening on the site. So these terms and conditions, there's so many different privacy documentations that need to be read together. And so when you are considering working with a service provider, you need to take all of that into consideration. Data handling and intellectual property. The platform processes and generates AI data. As part of its AI features, users are accountable for ensuring that AI data complies with legal standards and respects intellectual property rights. The platform and third-party providers have no liability for inaccuracies or legal issues arising from AI data. I think it would be valuable for them to put some more specificity about what this data could be. I'm pretty sure it's probably going to include some type of personal data, but without that insight, I can't say which way it actually is. I can make a generalization based on the products that they've listed here, particularly given that this is for an education purpose. There are at least going to be users that log into this tool, and then also the fact that they've got like tutoring. I don't know the age of the students, so that will also implicate. And at the beginning of this review, I talked about how there's specific federal data protection laws that dictate how the processing of students and minors can be conducted by an organization. And if that's anything that is processed by the platform, this organization needs to take that into consideration. So I really hope you enjoyed this simple review of the AI terms. If you have comments or questions about my review or anything that I've said in this video, please leave a comment below and I will see you in another video.